Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today we are going to be running back Doomsday. So I received two donations from the same person. These are both from Min H, and this is the second time I'm going to be playing Doomsday. Now the first time around, I just went in blind, like having no idea what I was doing, knowing nothing about Doomsday piles. This time around, I've done a little bit of reading. I poked around in the Doomsday Discord, and they sent me to the Doomsday website, ddft.wiki. The way this is organized is that there are sub-archetypes of Doomsday. The one that you most commonly see is the Force of Will Doomsday, which they have called the Mean deck. And I'm on the basics section here. There's a lot of stuff here. But essentially what this section does is it shows you kind of what you need to do to construct a pile and then gives you example piles. So I've kind of read through this. I'm not going to claim that I've internalized all of this, but I'm going to have this up this time when I play so that I can reference it. And it gives you examples of piles and kind of like what you can do in order to win. And I think I've got a slightly better grip on how things go. Obviously, I'm still going to be kind of like learning a lot of things on the fly, but I expect this to go a lot better this time. So if you are looking to learn Doomsday yourself, there's a lot here. You know, there's articles, deck construction principles, learning to play around different things. This is gonna be very, very useful for me in kind of like figuring out what all I need to be doing. I believe it is Doishi from the Doomsday Discord gave me a decent number of tips, and I'm going to be playing mostly the same 75 as before. I made just a couple of changes based on their suggestions. Number one, I cut one fetch land for a Cavernous Souls. That way I can make my Thassa's Oracle uncounterable when I'm playing against blue decks. Number two, I realized Ideas Unbound is probably pretty important because Ideas Unbound lets you set up well, like the first pile that was up here, for example, was an Ideas Unbound pile. Ideas Unbound for Lotus Petal, and then a Cycler. So this gives you your 2 mana for Thassa's Oracle, and then you use the Street Wraith to draw to the Thassa's Oracle, and the library is empty. This is a really easy pile that's pretty consistently going to win, or like you can use it to win on the next turn, even if you don't have like a way to draw it this turn. So I really wanted access to those piles. Number two, they recommended to up my Force of Negation count more than it was already at. So I cut the 2 duresses I had for 2 Force of Negation. Force of Negation just covers a lot of, assorted things that your opponents can be doing. I think that's all I have to say here. Again, I'm going to stumble through this league. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. This isn't a Doomsday expert play, and this is someone trying to learn Doomsday for the first time. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for Legacy, Modern, and Vintage content on the regular. And if you are a regular, throw me a like. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. As a heads up, the donation queue is pretty light as of right now, so I am looking for things to play. That information is available in the video description if you want to get one of your own fun things on stream. Okay, let's battle. All right, I have a turn 1 Doomsday, so I'm going to keep this hand. I bet I just win on turn 1. I haven't quite figured it out yet. All right, so I go Dark Ritual, Doomsday. I put a Lion's Eye Diamond on top of my library. I cycle Street Wraith, draw a Lion's Eye Diamond. I'll have 4 cards remaining in library. I get to draw 2 of them. I'll have 1 mana floating. Okay. All right. So let's finish this thought. So I'm going to go down to 10 life when I cast Doomsday. Cycling Street Wraith brings me to 8 life, so I'm fine in the life total regard. I draw an LED and crack it, cast Deep Analysis. Puts me down to 5 life. I'm not immediately dead to something like a Lightning Bolt or a Punishing Fire. I get to draw 2 cards. I will have 1 blue left. I sent my opponent a message and tell them I'm going to go slow. I have a basics. Well, no, I probably just want to play this Underground Sea. All right. So I'm going to cast this Doomsday. The response was, but don't play Doomsday. All right. So if I take like LED, Edge of Autumn, Petal, Thassa's Oracle, Reet Wraith. I think that does it. I have 1 mana left after Deep Analysis. That's up to 2 mana. I get to cycle twice. I'm not dead to my own cycling. Yeah, this is fine. Alright, so Thassa's Oracle. I need LED on top. The order of the others doesn't matter. Alright, cycle Street Wraith. Play LED. Crack for triple blue. Target me. Do this. Cycle. Sacrifice my land. There's my Petal. There's my cycling. And there's a Thassa's Oracle. Hot damn. I feel smarter than I was last league already. That's one of the first times that I've actually had to sit down with a piece of paper in a long time and say, what the fuck is my turn like? Okay, so I'm gonna assume that I'm playing against maybe something 4-color loam adjacent. I don't know what that means for me in terms of sideboarding. I know that like my lands are gonna be more valuable or not more vulnerable than normal, and I don't have access to basics in this list. I'm gonna assume that my Orum's chants aren't fantastic. And go on this Emrakul package. Nah, Shaldak Isle's vulnerable to Wasteland. Let's play a couple of Thought Seizes. A couple of Force Negations for Chalice. Let's use that as my starting point. I'm sure there's sideboarding, like, fundamentals on the website, but I only dug in for a little while. Spoilers, as a content creator, your time gets stretched a little bit thin in terms of, like, making videos and thumbnails. So I don't always have time to do everything right. In fact, I frequently don't. Okay, this one has to be just an auto mulligan. You can't do anything. Second hand looks good. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to have to pass the turn. So I'm going to have to build a pile that wins on the following turn. I'm going to junk the Dark Ritual here. My opponent is going to 5. I'm going to want to build a pile with at least 1 extra land. Ooh, my opponent is going to 4. So that might mean that they're very, very light on interaction for me. Okay. Ooh. Honestly, like, I'm just gonna stop that because Ragavan mucks with the top card of my library. Oh, that's sick. Okay. So now I can just fetch an Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. I will take a Thassa's Oracle in here, and okay, we've gotten the GG. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk through my pile anyway, because like I need to talk through my pile. So I would have gone Thassa's Oracle plus 3 different cyclers there. So I would have just gone like triple Street Wraith Edge of Autumn probably, and then even if I get ooh no, if I got Wastelanded, it wouldn't win next turn. That would probably be fine. I might be able to build like an LED Ideas Unbound pile. Yeah, I think if I get Wasteland, though, I just wait 1 turn, and it works out okay. Okay, my opening hand doesn't have any lands here, and I think I'd rather mulligan than try to, like, Lotus Petal, Ponder, or do all this stuff. Like, when I mulligan, there's a good chance that I'll just, like, naturally find a Doomsday. Hey! Speaking of. So this hand doesn't have access to black yet, but I think it's fine. I think I'm going to pitch the Tundra since it does not produce black. I could also pitch the Street Wraith. Just keep the 3rd land in case I get Wastelanded. I think I'm fine with the straight up redraw though. I'm going to just cycle this immediately because if I find a Dark Ritual. Actually, pitching the Tundra means I don't have blue anymore. Alright. I'm unsure whether or not I made a mistake in pitching the Tundra now. I have the setup for some interesting things. I'm not going to just like blow this brainstorm here yet. Now will I? Now I think I will. I have another one later. There's just so much upside if I find a fetch land here. That's a fetch land. Okay. Now have multiple Doomsdays and have access to black. I am going to put back one of Deep Analysis and Ideas Unbound. I'm going to put back Ideas Unbound, because Deep Analysis gets really cute with LED. And then hand's more or less good to go. I think I'm going to put back the Brainstorm. Marsh Flats will find me another Underground Sea. And then I'm ready to attempt the first Doomsday, and I can do so with Days backup. We'll see if I get any indication here of like what my opponent is playing. The Days backup is only really backup if my opponent actually taps out. Absolutely not going to counter this Brainstorm here. Because if I pick up a land, that means I'm not casting a Doomsday on my turn. And the deck is named after that card, so I would like to cast it. But this is a long pause. Do you not have the land now? That's rough if you don't have... Okay. They do. Oh, okay. That's... No, I'm not gonna Daze. I'm not gonna Daze. This fetches Dryad Arbor and allows them to shuffle. But I'd rather just cast Doomsday on my turn. I win now? No. Don't have a way to draw the card since I threw back that Brainstorm. Alright. I'm gonna cast this. So, presume this resolves. Ooh, waiting to pay costs. Okay. So, what card would I like to draw next turn? Since it kind of looked like my opponent was playing a counter spell, I would like to end this with Thassa's Oracle, Cavernous Souls. Orum's chant-based lines are tempting, but I'm worried about like being wastelanded off of white and then losing access to that. I think I'm probably going to play a line that takes multiple turns. What about LED Ideas Unbound, though? Ideas Unbound, LED, and I get one more card. Draw LED. Crack, play Ideas Unbound. Have plenty of mana to draw 3 cards deep. I'll just take a Cycler. Take like Edge of Autumn. Thassa's Oracle, then Cavern. Wait, why did I want Ideas Unbound? I already have Deep Analysis. Good question, Phil. Good question. This is probably fine still, I think. Yeah, that Ideas Unbound should have just been like a blue producing land or something. No, I guess I'm still fine on that regard. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Multiple Wastelands will not be fine, though. So if my opponent actually has a real counter spell, this is a problem. I think I am going to Daze that. Okay, does my LED-based line still win this turn? LED Crack have 4 total blue mana. Or I guess I should think of it as 5 total mana. Yeah, I'm still good. Alright, Underground Sea. Oh, it's not... fuck. Now I'm not playing it uncounterable. Which is why I made this pile in the first place. Fuck, I shouldn't have played this turn then. Now this can be like Prismatic Ending away. It's a huge... Fuck. I'm just gonna pass the turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass the turn. But I super regret playing this out. Now like Prismatic Endings and such influence this, whereas they didn't before. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. I should have just made this a blue producing land, but I already knew that. I guess I can just cast this Dark Ritual. Can't really think of a reason not to. Alright, so let's crack this for blue. We'll flashback Deep Analysis, targeting myself, paying the 1. Alright, I will Edge of Autumn, cycle, sacrifice a land. Alright. This on Wizard. And play. Oh, fuck me! I fucking hate Magic Online sometimes. So because I had exactly blue floating, it did not give me an opportunity to use my Cavernous Souls. That's really frustrating. I fucking hate that so much. Alright, so we're playing against essentially a blue Maverick deck. That's like kind of the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know how much counter magic my opponent actually has, because how like either Reliquary Dryad Arbor is basically it. I don't hate Thoughtseize. I don't really hate Chain of Vapor either. Chain of Vapor just helps with some of the weird things like a Leovold or Collector Oof that could mess with me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with these 3 cards in. I'm gonna go down on these. I don't know how good they actually are. I'll leave 1 so that I can have access to them in piles. And again, against the Wasteland decks, I don't think I want to, like, sub in that Shelldock Isle Emrakul plan. Yeah, this is fine. With a Cycler in hand already, I can probably, excuse me, I can probably make some interesting piles. Um, I also could use the Street Wraith pretty aggressively to, like, try to find a cantrip or a Dark Ritual or something. Right, there's a Trop. Oh! Yeah, sure. Wasn't necessarily expecting that from the opponent. I mean, it's fine. I am going to use the first of these now. I am unsure if I want to use the second. I will. Okay, Deep Analysis, sure. So now I have a pretty good setup for going off. Like, I have a lot of partial pieces. Alright, so there's the Doomsday. I can't cast it immediately, but I do have triple black in hand. I have an extra land as well in case I get wastelanded. My opponent's just got a second land in their second main phase. That's fine. We'll just land pass here, and then next turn I'll go for a Doomsday. It's probably gonna have to be a pass the turn pile. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I can't really do too much here. I'm gonna assume that this Deep Analysis is gonna get pitched to Force of Will at some point, and I think I'm gonna be 2-turning this. I'm just gonna grab an Underground Sea here. When do I want to use this Orum's Chant? Now? I think I want to use it now to guarantee that the Doomsday resolves. Alright, so here's the chant. It resolves. I'll go Dark Ritual. Cast my Doomsday. So I want Thassa's Oracle. And then since I have a piece of protection already, I think I just want maximum Cyclers. I can just go like Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. Then have Deep Analysis, Force of Will as a piece of backup. Fine. Okay. I should have an uncounterable. Ooh, actually, using the Force of Will kind of fucks me up, huh? Because this, well, the Street Wraith stuff is fine. That's 6 total damage. And the Force of Will would be the 7th point. So if I have to use the Force of Will, I have to wait 1 turn. Yeah, that's fine. I planned for that already. So my opponent doesn't have red mana, so I can't die to like a Punishing Fire. I think I'm good. Cycle. 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 Float black. Sacrifice a land. Cavern. On wizard. Blue. Blue. Uncounterable. Oh fuck, what about endurance? This doesn't play around endurance because I'm at 1. Motherfucker. Well, I figured that out about 4 seconds too late. Yeah, now I don't have a way to win anymore. Okay. Alright, well, I figured out what my opponent had too slowly. Alright, so now I know to play around endurance for the future. Yeah, so I think I should have just played my pile 1 turn slower and then picked up, like... No, I didn't even need to pick up anything. I just needed to not include the Street Wraith so that I actually could have Force of Willed. Yeah, so I think that game was winnable if I just don't cast or don't cycle the 3rd Street Wraith. Yeah. But I am not used to thinking, yes. I think this wins on turn 1 with Counterspell backup. Okay, I think I need to plot this out. So I fetch Underground Sea, I go Dark Ritual. I get Deep Analysis, which I draw with Street Wraith. Can I do this in a way where I don't use the Lion's Eye Diamond to win? I don't think so. I'm going to discard my Counterspell once I do that. So Deep Analysis and Thassa's Oracle have to be in my pile. I'll draw 2 cards with Deep Analysis. I will leave... I'll draw the Deep Analysis, then there's 4 cards in my deck, then there's 2 cards remaining in my deck. That means I can just play a Thassa's Oracle. Okay. Alright, Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. Waiting to pay costs on something. Is that a bluff? Or is it an endurance? Oh fuck, I kind of wish I had boarded in the second Thassa's Oracle so I could just like try twice. Alright, so I'm always taking Thassa's Oracle. I'm always taking this deep analysis. Yeah, I think things get worse for me if I wait, because then like the wastelands and stuff come into consideration. I need to have one Lotus Petal in here. I'm gonna have like an Edge of Autumn and just like a Street Wraith. Alright, so let's try this. The Thassa's Oracle goes on bottom. Then as long as deep analysis is on top, the rest of the word order or the rest of the order doesn't really matter. Makes me super nervous here that my opponent is pausing. But I am not super good at playing around stuff yet, so I go ahead and just go for it. Go to 2. Cycle this land. Petal. And Oracle. Do you have the endurance? No, I win! Hot damn. That's turn 1. Sick. Okay. This hand is lacking in blue mana. I could like Lotus Petal Ponder, try to find a blue land, but I don't think the rest of the hand is particularly great. I'm just gonna go ahead and mulligan. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. Let's get rid of maybe the Orums. Can't. Turn 1 personal tutor. Actually maybe the Brainstorm. Turn 1 personal tutor for Doomsday. Turn 2 Orums chant Doomsday. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, fetch. Underground Sea. Personal tutor. Doomsday. I am going to not play out Petal. But like if my opponent is like a taxing deck or a Chalice of the Void deck, it's better for me to play this out. And if they're not, so we're probably playing against ninjas. Alright, so I'm gonna cast a Lotus Petal. Cast this Orum's Chant. Use you. White. Okay, we have gotten movement from the opponent. Alright, it resolved. Dark Ritual. Doomsday. I cannot win this turn. I can win next turn. Do I want to play around anything other than counter magic? I don't think so. Cavern. Turtle Street Wraith Edge. As long as they don't have Wasteland, I win. Fine. Done. Cavern goes on bottom, I guess. Should be fine. Actually, I guess there's a world where my opponent puts in Yuriko and then flips like fucking Force of Will or something wild. I lose to that? Okay. Well, I'm officially confused. This dwarves? I don't know. I'll just like keep cycling stuff. Blue. Cycle this. Cavern. Wizard. Win. Okay. Yeah, once you research Doomsday like just a tiny bit, this is actually pretty easy. I mean, like, obviously there is a lot of nuance here and a lot of things you can learn to play around, but like half an hour of reading or whatever, might have been an hour, really put me in the situation where I'm more comfortable figuring out what's going on. Masked Vandal after Ornithopter? Huh. I guess Masked Vandal is still a ninja? I do not know. Accordingly, I'm gonna board in 1 Chain of Vapor in case there's some BS that I need to bounce just over like 1 days and call that good. And then I'll actually adjust my sideboarding based on what I see if I lose this game. I do not have a land here. Go ahead and mulligan. Do have a land here. I have personal tutor to get stuff. Yeah, this is fine. Do I like days? I don't hate days. I'm gonna just junk the Edge of Autumn. That's gonna end up in my pile a lot of the time anyway. And I want to keep this Ponder so that if things get weird, I'm just okay. Alright. Let's grab an Underground Sea and Personal Tutor. My opponent doesn't have a Daze available right now. Yep, Daze not doing what I want there. Oh, just Ornithopter chillin'. Try to find a Doomsday. Those are not Doomsday. I don't hate having access to that later. I can just use an Orum's Chant to resolve a Doomsday. Okay, so now my opponent has their land. I mean, that's resolving. Can't really do anything about that. I am still very confused about what my opponent is playing. But they get to start doing Carpet of Flowers shit. But you had 2 lands. You could have just attacked in with that this turn and made it uncounterable. But I'm very happy for this. For me. Play this around Days? I'm supposed to play the Lotus Petal so I can play this around Days. Alright, what are we looking at? The Brainstorm's legit. I don't like the other things that are there that much. I think I'm just gonna bury the Days, take the Brainstorm now, and the Delta next turn. I think that's just good enough. Oh. Still just a little surprised that my opponent didn't want to ninjutsu in the Yuriko last turn. Alright, now they're about that life. That's fine. It does mean that some of my Doomsday situations are going to be a little bit scarier. Not a Changeling Outcast. Does Yuriko trigger for each one? It does. Yeah. Okay. Alright, do I want to look at this Days, or do I want to, like, go fresh? I think I want to be able to shuffle some of this stuff away. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. Oh, these are bad. Don't want Days. I don't want the second Dark Ritual. Fetch. I am going to cycle this. Life's bad. My life total is going to start getting low enough that I might not be able to, like, cast Doomsday and then survive. Okay. Yeah. With Retrofitter Foundry revealed, that's a 4/4. My opponent's gonna get multiple Yuriko triggers. What the hell is... Oh, fuck. Alright. Retrofitter Foundry and Changeling Outcast also both get to happen? What a fucking turn. Like, I was saving this to try to go off. But I assume this is just dead. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can kick Orum's Chant. I'm gonna just wait to see if they do this. So, like, I could kick Orum's Chant in order to, like, survive a turn. But then if I draw Doomsday, I can't even just win because of Leovold. So I am just going to go ahead and concede here and not show that trick. Alright, as far as sideboarding goes, what do I like? I probably want to have access to a Thoughtseize effect or two. I'm just gonna, like, board one of these in for a Daze. I don't think I want the Emrakul package. I don't know, the Emrakul package is pretty good versus Leovold. Yeah. Let's do it. Now, I'll junk the Chain of Vapor that I brought in previously. And Ideas Unbound, maybe? Maybe I don't just, like, need Ideas Unbound. If some portion of the time I'm just going to win with Emrakul. Of the deep analysis baselines. This probably wins on turn 1, right? So I'm going to Doomsday with 1 mana available and a Cycler. I'm going to have 5 cards in library. Can cycle into Consider. 4 cards remaining in library. I cast Consider. I put Deep Analysis into Graveyard. 3 cards remaining. I draw Lion's Eye Diamond. That's 2 cards remaining. Those remaining cards are Petal and Oracle. My pile is Consider. Yeah, I'm keeping this. Consider, Deep Analysis, Petal, Oracle. And I do, like, 1 Street Wraith to round out the pile. Okay. I'm gonna die to a Force of Will, though. Don't think I get to beat that. if I want to just go for it on turn 1. Alright, there's my Doomsday. So, I need Consider, Deep Analysis. LED was the card that I didn't count when I did my pile. Alright, so I do LED, Oracle. Alright, so Consider, Deep Analysis, LED, Oracle, like a Street Wraith, round it out. Alright. Oracle on bottom, Street Wraith here, LED. Oh fuck, I fucked this up, didn't I? This is the mana I'm using to cast Consider. 1 mana short with this pile. Fuck. So I have to pass the turn and then use this land. Yeah, this was supposed to be metal. Oracle. Yeah, I have to wait a turn. Fuck, I could have built this pile better. Okay. So I'm gonna open myself up to Daze or like a Thoughtseize or something. Well, actually, I guess I don't really open myself up to Thoughtseize. Oh, Thoughtseize is weird though, because it could take Emrakul and shuffle the pile. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so Carpet's gonna trigger. Okay, just straight up going for an immediate brainstorm. Alright, so here's a Consider. Put Deep Analysis into my graveyard. Oh my god, I haven't. Well, fuck. I have an Emrakul in hand. Fuck me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck. The next card is Street Wraith. Oh my god. Okay. This will work sometimes. I think. I don't want to shuffle this land back in. Oh god, so I can't. Right. Alright, I fucked this one up. On multiple levels. Alright, we punted here. Oh my god, that's a fun lesson to learn. Okay, my opening hand here has a lot of sweet things, but I don't actually have like blue mana to get started with this personal tutor. So I think I am going to go ahead and just mulligan this hand. It's also super soft to wasteland. This hand is not currently exciting, but I don't think it is worth mulliganing to 5. This is me first. So let's just ponder. Oh, I see. I rolled a 1 and just thought that, like, oh, I'm not going first. But my opponent also happened to roll a 1. That's why I was so confused. Personal tutor finds Doomsday. This is fantastic. In case my opponent is playing discard, I'm just gonna hide the personal tutor on top for a second here. And draw the Underground Sea instead. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm good with brainstorming and then casting personal tutor. Ooh. Those are cards. At this point, I don't super expect to need both Daze and Force. I'm going to get rid of Daze and 1 land here. And I'll fetch. Grab a new Underground Sea. Personal tutor a Doomsday to the top of library. And then I think I win next turn. Oh. Fine. Ah! Fuck you, Allosaurus Shepherd. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am fucking dead. Because I can't do like an LED-based line here. I can draw 1 card after resolving the Doomsday. But without LED or Petal, I can't. Fuck me. Oh my god. Thought we were good. Thought we were good here. We were not. Jesus. Shit. Alright, I probably don't need Orum's Chant in this matchup. I guess Force of Negation for Glimpse / Green Sun / Natural Order is reasonable. Thoughtseize is also reasonable to sculpt in the early turns. I don't think Daze is super great either. I could board 6 and then board down 2 Dazes, or I could board 8 cards and bring in the Shelldock Emrakul package. I think that's too slow in a lot of cases, though, honestly. I also think there's plenty of times where my opponent can just like sacrifice 6 permanents and kill me on the backswing after I cast a Doomsday. Yeah, let's try this. This hand doesn't do anything. This um, hand isn't actually that great. There's a very good chance I probably keep this and pitch this like personal tutor. There's a very good chance that I just end up like brainstorm locking myself. I'll play this out. I'm going to try to just naturally draw a land next turn. And then if I miss, I'll start thinking about doing something like brainstorming. But okay, Heritage Druid. Yeah, I'll just let you take one of my Doomsdays. If you have Thoughtseize plus Surgical, fuck me, I guess. Yep, that's fine. I'm willing to accept this degree of risk. Okay. We wait. I have the Thassa's Oracle in hand, which is fine. We'll see what my opponent can string together. That's fine. The Doomsday can still get stuff back from the graveyard, so this isn't just gone forever or anything. Okay, I lose a Doomsday. My opponent's got a Reclaimer. That's fine. Alright, I've got lands. There's Underground Sea. There's Underground Sea. This Doomsday will put me to 9. How do I win? Next turn, the greatest percentage of time. Mana's tight. Not expecting to get wastelanded. I'm not expecting to have to deal with counterspells. I think I would like to build a pile that doesn't get got by Collector Oof. That would be like, well, yeah, and Force of Will. Put the Force of Will on bottom, and then the other cyclers. Elvish Reclaimer is not going to attack me for enough to just kill me here. I wonder if I should have boarded in the second Thassa's Oracle. Because if my opponent discard spells me, I lose. He used 2 already. Probably like 2 more. Oh, I guess I'm not thinking enough about endurance. It's okay. As long as I get down to the Force of Will, I think I'm good. Okay. I'm at the Force of Will. So I think I'm fine now. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Do I want to change any sideboarding based on like my experience of being scared of discard there? Being scared of discard only happens if I naturally draw the Thassa's Oracle. Maybe Daze is bad enough on the draw that I just add this 2-card package as like, oh shit, stuff went wrong. Turn 1 Personal Tutor, turn 2 Doomsday. That's fine. Some would even call it good. Opponent has mulliganed once already. Alright. See what you have for me, elves. I'm not just going to fire off a Force of Will willy-nilly. Would like to keep this if possible. Ooh, Endurance. Okay. I've got something to be thinking about. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, new land. Play an Underground Sea. Play Personal Tutor. Put Doomsday on top of my library. I'm going to play out this Lotus Petal. Don't think it's super likely to get like Abrupt Decayed or anything like that, and there's some worlds where I might need to cast a Consider. Green spells. Can't be fucking countered, huh? Motherfucker. The Allosaurus Shepherd card is real good. Is my Chain of Vapor boarded in? Nope. Right. So I think I am going to have trouble beating the Endurance with a traditional pile. So I think I'm going to go Sheldock, Emrakul. Towards the bottom of this pile, I will put Thassa's Oracle. This uncounterable Endurance messes with Sheldock Isle too, huh? Maybe add like Underground Sea and Brainstorm into the mix. The Thassa's Oracle will be the bottom card. Put Sheldock on top. We'll see how this goes. I'm really scared if my opponent just plays Gaia's Cradle. I'm also dead relatively soon just to onboard damage. No. The Sheldock Isle line is fine with Endurance, right? Because it puts them on the bottom in a random order, not in the deck in a random order. Okay. I don't get to counter this stuff. 3 mana. That's a collector oof. I've already played around that by not adding artifacts to my piles. Oh, nope. So is my opponent swinging for the fences and trying to find Gaia's Cradle to just kill me next turn? They can't play another card or they drop Endurance. Okay, they are going to play something else. Oof. Oh, it's a green sun. That could be Wirewood. They can untap and get an attack in. Their last... Oh, okay. So they can bounce a card to hand so that they can do the Endurance thing. I still do need to continue on the Shellback Isle plan. Which I'm not sure if it's actually good enough anymore. Alright, let's put stuff on the bottom of the library. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm putting these on bottom of library in order. That means I want to do something like this instead. I played my land. I have to pass the turn. I might just die to Allosaurus Shepherd. 1, 2, 3. Untap is 4. Or 1, 2, like 3, 4, 5. Yes, I am dead on board. So my opponent is 5, right? Oh, it's 6. I think I'm still dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Untap, attack in with 2. Yep. And Allosaurus Shepherd just absolutely wrecked me. I thought I was super safe 2 different times. And like it being uncounterable combined with it shutting off my counter spells was just brutal. Alright, I am dead here. GG's. Ugh, what a tease. Like, we have Dark Ritual Doomsday, but not the black mana to cast it or blue mana to cantrip. That has to be a mulligan. Yep, keep. I am going to junk the Personal Tutor from this hand, probably. I have turn 1 Dark Ritual Doomsday, and then I assume I win on turn 2. We'll kind of see. Hey, hey. Good luck. Cycle. Force of Will. Lock! Oh, man, my hand got really bad. Oh, no. Alright. Land go. So, like, if I can just naturally make 3 land drops, I have a very good chance of winning against whatever my opponent is doing. Oh, God. Unless this is something like a Thought Nazi or Karn. Okay. That is getting dazed. I just, like, cannot let a 4/4 into play right now. We might be playing against, like, actual factual mud. Could also be playing against some sort of pseudo-affinity deck. Oh, flagstones. Interesting. Not that it really changes the lines that I have available to me too much, if I'm being honest. Timeless Dragon, huh? And Eternalize is an activated ability? Can't counter that? Hmm. Uh, uh, fuck. Yeah. Alright. That occurs. So much for days protecting me from threats. Okay, that's it's a dead draw. Uh-oh. This one's gonna go fast, I think. I'm gonna take 4 here, go to 14. Yeah, it is gonna be hard for me to Doomsday win easily. Let's see what I can work out. I cast the Doomsday. Which way does this round? Round it up. So I'm gonna go to 6 life. So I'm gonna have 2 life to work with here. I have 5 cards in my library. I'm gonna draw 1 for turn. That puts me to 4 cards. That card can be a Street Wraith. I draw a card. There's 3 cards in my library. That card can be Edge of Autumn, Thassa's Oracle, and then there's just some other random card that I have to leave in my library. Seems fine. The Thassa, Street Wraith, Edge. Actually, it's the other 2 that don't matter. I'm not going to see those 2 cards. I'm going to draw Street Wraith for turn, draw Edge, draw Thassa's Oracle. 2 cards remaining in library. They're the other 2 cards. And I will die. I have to pass the turn, so I don't think I can play around a Chalice on 2. Yeah, so I don't think it matters what these other 2 cards are. Just make it some lands then. So the lands will go on bottom. Followed by Thassa's Oracle here. Followed by the 2 cyclers. Oh fuck, I'm at 6. Oh, this pile doesn't work. I'm dead. Oh god, there was something else too. Oh shit. Okay, well. I was not getting another turn regardless. Well, I guess I can daze. I could have dazed this. Yeah, I'm dead though. Like, I can daze this, but then I can't cycle the Street Wraith to get everything going. Oof. Okay. So Solitude is something that I'm going to have to play around as well. Alright, I don't think I want these Orm's Chants. I think I'd rather have, like, Thought Seizes and Force of Negations over those. Daze is a little worse on the draw, but my opponent has a bunch of tap-out threats. I think I need to have this Chain of Vapor in there. And then it's a question of, like, Dazes versus Force of Negations. I think on the draw, I just want more Force of Negations. So the Emrakul plan loses to Solitude. I don't think I do that. I am unsure if I actually want Massacre. This is fine. It's not super fast. But I get to just, like, Force of Will a Chalice and dig 4 lands. I think that's okay. Yes, I will take 2 of those. If my opponent plays a Chalice, my plan is Force of Will, pitching Ideas Unbound. They did not. I know the next card is Force of Negation. I think I am just going to go ahead and Brainstorm now. There's a lot of really expensive cards. Don't want Ideas Unbound. I'm going to put back this Force of Negation, play a Lotus Petal. I'm just going to fetch now. I'm going to just be kind of cognizant of things like Aven Mind Sensor. So I have Doomsday next turn, probably followed by a win the next turn, but things can get weird. Alright. Worth countering? I think worth countering. A Force of Will, pitch Chain. That way I can keep these 2 things for Force of Negation. Okay, so I can fetch without this actually going against me. And then cast Doomsday. I have Force of Negation. So I already play around Chalice sort of effects. I think I can just do the cycling pile. I'm going to go to 8. This is 6. I'm not expecting my opponent to have any haste. I think that's fine. Did I just misclick and not do one of those? Yeah. These cards on top of your library. So Thassa's Oracle goes on bottom. And all the rest of these. Alright. Now things can beat me still, but with Force of Negation here, I have a lot of scary things covered. Okay, that doesn't matter. Very glad I did not make a pile dependent on the deep analysis, though. Okay. How is this worded? It's been a little while. Okay, 2 more to cast. That doesn't change if that thing goes away. Cycle. 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 Blue. Cycle. Blue. Thassa's Oracle. Okay, good stuff. Alright, now that I have seen the Hate Bear side of my opponent's deck, I want this Massacre. Boarding in the second Thassa's Oracle is also not crazy. Let's swap Massacre for Daze. I don't know how good Chain of Vapor actually is. Like, Chain of Vapor could just be another Thassa's Oracle. I could also play the Emrakul Shelldock package. But I think I die a lot of times trying to wait that extra turn. I think I'm just going to submit as is. This is Personal Tutor on turn 1, Doomsday on turn 2. The Doomsday might even win me the game. Hoo-hoo, no! Don't do it! They did it. Alright. They're going to have to reevaluate life a little bit. I'm gonna just cycle this immediately. Alright. We're just gonna chill. We're just gonna, like, naturally draw a Doomsday. It'll be fine. Maybe I had to play a hand that could beat a Chalice on the draw. Like, just have to have a piece of counter magic. Rip my Massacre. Well, actually, that's not all that spooky, right? This will cost 2 to cast now. That's fine. I am just going to start thinning the deck of lands. I just need to naturally draw a Doomsday. Now that my opponent knows that I have this Lotus Petal, I am just going to cast it here. I'm going to let Elite Spellbinder hit me once or twice before casting this Massacre, I think. Unless my opponent, like, misses a land drop, in which case I'll just, like, cash in the Massacre now. Okay, they didn't miss a land drop. Thalia. Yeah, that's fine. I'm now ready to cash in Massacre. It will cost me the Lotus Petal, but I think this is totally fine. So I now have a Force of Negation or another non-hate bearer lock piece. Ooh. Please don't be a creature, please don't be a creature, please don't be a creature. Fuck. Alright. Now I can't Force of Negation. Oh, Kaldra is real fucking scary here. I don't think I can beat that. They would need to draw land followed by Doomsday, and the Kaldra just represents too much damage. Yeah, I think I am dead here. Yeah, because I'm going to take 7, and then I Doomsday under ideal circumstances, and then I take 7 more. Yeah, I can't even Doomsday if I spike it. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez. That was rough. Alright, so we went 2-3 this league. Overall thoughts on the deck? Good? I'm much happier with how I played this league than last league. Like, last league, I stumbled through not really knowing what I'm doing. And this league, I made mistakes and I didn't play around things, but like I knew more or less what I was doing, and I had a much better feel for the lines this time around. Um, like I actually did consider in deep analysis lines a couple times. I didn't end up using an ideas unbound line, but I had access to it and I kind of like knew what was going on there. I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes throughout this. Yeah, a couple of them were rough. Like not realizing the Emrakul was going to fuck up my discard pile until it was too late. That was rough. Yeah, but this was fun. Was I don't want to say dreading. I wasn't dreading playing this league, but like I really wanted this league to go much better than last week to show like, hey, I am competent. I just didn't know what I was doing the first time around. And I am pretty happy with how I played. Not like, yeah, if this was a tournament, I wouldn't be happy with how I played, obviously. But like for someone who is learning a deck, I made big strides forward between this round and last round. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video, please throw me a like before you go. Please consider subscribing if you're new here. Those things support my channel for free. You know, leave a comment if you have any thoughts about the deck list or anything like that. I don't have access to a Pact of Negation, which is something that could have done interesting things for some piles as well. But I think Orm's Chant covers a lot of the same turf, so I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. And I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you again soon.